Hey Sagittarius, and happy birthday. This is going to be your December 2018 reading for those who have Sagittarius in their moon, their rising, and their sun sign. Your overall energy this month has to do with relationships. So a lot of things this month are going to revolve around relationships that you're in or with people that you have in your life. I see that there's somebody in here that comes to you, like you get a message from somebody, but this person doesn't really have your best interest. Like they're lying to you about something. It's like they're playing with your emotions. Yeah, you're going to get a message from somebody who's playing with your emotions. And right now you're in, for those that have a family, this is either in like your family with your mother and your father, or for those who are like raised by either grandparents, whatever you consider your family unit, or a family you started it yourself and created for yourself. There's a lot of lies going on in this family dynamic. And then on top of that, there's somebody who's coming in who's also going to be lying. And it has to do with something that's going to pull at your heartstrings. And you kind of looking back at everything that you and this family unit have gone through. Apparently there's been a lot of shit that you went through with this family. And you're not really trying to win any of these arguments. You don't really want to have any of these arguments. You kind of just want to let it go, and you don't want to deal with this shit anymore, basically. And it's like you try to leave, but for whatever reason, you feel like you're mentally stuck. Like you can't get out of this. It's almost like you're trapped within this situation, or with this person, or in this family dynamic. For whatever reason, you're having a hard time breaking free of this. I feel like you really do want to move on. Like you think about it a lot. If you haven't done it yet, you think about it. You think about what else there is out there. If this is really where you're supposed to be, is this really what you want to be in? Is this situation with my family, like, is this really a normal, like, is this really what it's supposed to be like? Is there anything else? But if for whatever reason you feel like you cannot get out of it, and I'm not seeing anything here that has to do with money. I mean, because I would say maybe money has to do with it. Maybe like you can't because financially you wouldn't be able to move out of this situation. Like maybe you couldn't move out of like a family member's house, or you couldn't leave like your wife or your husband because of the bills and unable to afford it or something. But I don't feel like this has to do anything with finances. This really has to do with your mental status, or in some of your emotions. You just feel like mentally like you don't know how to mentally move on from this. It's almost like you've dedicated so much of your time, and you put so much into this and so much work into this. And even though you think about trying to get help and get out, or to be able to move on, it's hard to let go of something that you spent so much time building, or attempting to build, or put so much work into a relationship that it makes it harder to let go of. And as much as you would rather just forget about all the hard stuff and pretend like it doesn't exist, like it's still very much there. And there's always going to be something that comes up that makes you have to look back on it. And every time you do that, you just mentally want to break away. Yeah, and then for some of you, I really feel like this situation might have to do something with a child. Maybe there's something to do with a child that is interfering with this relationship and why it's not working anymore either. Not that it would necessarily be the child's fault, but there's something that has to do with children that is causing this family dynamic or unit not to work anymore. So for you, you're just going to be thinking for most of the month about how it is you can get out of this and how you can escape, and or how you'd be able to move away from it. Hope y'all have a wonderful holiday.